This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
This is one aspect of guitar tone that I think is more or less totally overlooked. And we talk about like pedals, we talk about modelers, we talk about all this other stuff. To me, this is pretty much the most impactful thing that you can do for your tone. And we rarely, specifically me, spend any real time talking about this. I normally use an Origin Spirit condenser mic. I sold my SM7B to my buddy Jake. Now, I'm not trying to do anything scientific here, but what I've done is just put these mics in front of this amp. And I'm going to show you, and show myself, how much of a difference this makes in terms of tone. And maybe for me, when I'm chasing certain things, I should be more considerate about what mic I'm using, what cab I'm using. To be honest with you, I was hoping that there'd be a bigger difference than what I maybe actually managed to achieve in this video. But I think the point maybe still stands. Let me know if you could kind of guess that this was what was changing in the intro. But yeah, I think for sure mic choice, mic placement, all of these things can be as impactful, if not more, than like changing a pedal. Certainly changing a cab could be a huge deal. And I think if you try this in the modelling world, like changing an amp can sometimes not be as impactful as changing a cab or changing a mic. But yeah, it wasn't a huge difference in the intro, was it? Into a VHT D50, right? Let's get it juiced up. Right, that's going to be too loud. Switching back between the two of them, can you hear a huge difference? Let me know in the comments. if we're in clean sort of things, I find actually mic choice actually matters a little bit less, and specifically I think that is because clean tones generally take up less. If you imagine like white noise is like full spectrum of sound, right? Your cleans have less harmonics and high end and less of that whole white noise thing, so you tend to notice kind of differences in mics and mic positioning far less. Now, one other thing that I struggle with the Aston Spirit, because this is a fairly sensitive condenser mic, is that even in bedroom volumes, you know, such that I'm able to push these amps to a fair amount of volume, I tend to find that I'm kind of sending out too much signal for the condenser mic, even with the preamp gain on 0, whereas the SM7B, the dynamic microphone, is actually handling this stuff far better, and I'm even, you know, going and adding gain on the audio interface. Again, I think this is something I need to go back and check the audio, which is far more impactful on my tone than choosing between, you know, 2 different tube screamers, or in some cases even choosing between a couple of different types of amp. This part of the tone here is like a significant part of the tonal equation, and for me that is often why actually I tend to use a load box with an IR in Helix Native, because I can at least keep that part consistent and keep that part like as a controlled variable, if that makes sense. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What's your kind of ideal mic? I'm thinking I'm going to go and buy an SM7B on the basis of, for the last few days and for the last few amp demos that you might have seen, like I did a deluxe reverb video, I've been using the SM7 and it's actually worked really well for this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and obviously there are much more scientific approaches to this, but just, you know, what we tend to do, for me personally, is stick a mic somewhere in front of a cab that looks about right. That's what I've done here with 2 different mics, and the difference, I think, can be pretty staggering. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.